Good morning, Kristen. Can you share more on this identifying with every object we are aware of? Also, can you share which videos have a guided meditation on your ideas on guided meditation? Thank you. Uh, the first question, disidentify. So, like now, you're listening to me. You're listening to me. This process of listening is a dynamic, moving experience. Let's say called like a like a movie of frames. So there's a frames of objects that it's like movie. A movie is 24 frames per second, and you notice there's a movement, right? In the same way, the voice on my image is a constant frames on your screen of consciousness. Let's call it the moving objects or moving sound in your two senses of consciousness, say listening and watching. So in this perspective, it's two objects, sound and image. So behind these two objects, image and sound, is your awareness that is not moving. So this identify with the objects you're aware of, a sound, an image, a memory, especially a relationship, a body sensation, a taste, a smell or fragrance that you can aware of, say six senses, including the mental activities, memory, thinking, plannings. So the ultimate freedom is you can disidentify with all the contents in your awareness. Then you are free. Because once you can disidentify or letting go all the contents you're aware of, a memory, a relationship, everything, a news, bad, good, bad, yes or no, right or wrong. Once you can completely or totally disidentify with all the contents of the awareness or letting go, then you truly, there's something real and true will emerge. The awareness itself will emerge. Like now, let's do 30 seconds. So you can recognize your awareness or consciousness as background, right? It's always there, which is prior to every experience. And you could say there's an subject, you, or pure awareness, or I. We always use I. And everything else that is not I. I am here referring to the pure awareness. It's not egoic I, it's the pure awareness. Then the pure awareness can kind of consciously choose to letting go and disidentify with all the contents that the awareness is aware of. And now, it's always now. It's not denial of experience. Make sure there's a misunderstanding here. It's not a nihilism of everything or every existence. You still have the relation, you still have the memory, you still have, but you don't identify you as all the memory, relationship, career, and so on. You are like a free space where your tables, your computer, your room, the nature all emerges, from that space. If you look around, all the objects in the space is a temporary occupation of the space. Say this phone, space is here prior to this phone came, right? If I move this away, or letting go, let's say, letting go, and the space is still here. The pure awareness is something like that. You're the free space where all the contents or objects arise, but it's just a temporary occupy of that space. It's transient, it's fleeting, it's there's no self, there's no true self. Because this phone will be old and become dysfunctional in a couple of years, and I will, throw it in a garbage bin and become rotten and disappear into every atoms again. Even atoms that does not exist. So in every moment, you have that disidentifying. This disidentification will build up your insight or wisdom, like I talked yesterday and the day, last week, I think. You see the emptiness, you see the interbeing, interrelationship, interdepending nature of all the phenomena world. Like this body, we are depending on the food, water, air to exist, right? But there, behind all the phenomenon world, there's something that's independent, is true, is real, is everlasting. The consciousness itself. You can experience right now, right? There's experience in terms of six senses, and there's pure awareness. It's like, if I call this is the reality, then this reality has two faces or two sides. One is ever changing, one is never changing, one is always increase and decrease, one is there's no increasement, there's no deduction either. It's always, this side is always perfect, complete, and this side is always incomplete and imperfect, changing, and this side is non-changing. But there's a low, how to say this? Actually, this is one thing. It's yoga. This is yoga. Union of everything and you. The union between I, the pure awareness, not the egoic I, and everything that is not I. Let's say there's separation first. There's a union. And your second question, share the videos. I have guided meditation. I think that I have two videos on my YouTube channel. Is one is what is Satori in Zen Buddhism, like 1.5 years ago. That's one I have. Go through. I went through all the, it's guided meditation to have that glimpse of reality. Then I have the second one should be the types of meditation. It's 1 point concentration from 6 senses, then there's open monitoring, then there's maybe a mix of 1 point concentration and open monitoring. But make sure you understand meditation is a way to calm the mind. So it's a process of understand the reality. Hello and get high skills. I spend a lot of time in presence, but I'm about to sleep and wake up. My mind has a lot of racing thoughts, uncontrollable. Also wanted to mention it's difficult to focus on my breath. Instituting memory can be. Oh, thanks for your guidance. So, get high skills. Hi, thanks for your question. So you're on you need to calm the mind first, because our mind is scattered and you cannot realize. It's like I give you an analogy. You have 1 cup of water, but you have a little dusts and sands in it, and you use a stick to stir, so it become opaque and transient. I mean, unclear, right? So our mind, for normally people that have scattered mind and cannot concentrate, they cannot see the pure water itself. But once you pull the stick out, and a little while, all the sands and dust will sink to the bottom of the cup of water. Now, the water itself will become clear. So meditation is that process. Calm the mind, let all the unnecessary, repetitive, dysfunctional thoughts or mental activities to sink, or say not arising anymore. Like now, actually. Then you have a clear picture of what's going on outside and inside. Our awareness is like a vessel, say a cup, but our awareness has no boundary at all. Let me ask, where is your awareness? Is it here, or is outside somewhere on an object? There's no boundary. But once you identify, oh, I'm that object, I'm looking at the object, then that boundless awareness collapses to a form or boundary. So again, you can watch my video, the types of meditation. You need to calm the mind to a point. I can say, I call it the stillness. Like now, you can still your mind, and totality shows, just manifests by itself. It's very easy, actually. Theoretically, so easy. You already have it. You are it. But practically, it's very hard. Letting go is not easy at all. Constant interesting memory can be seen as an object, so disidentified, not just physical objects such as recycling the objects are border, as you shared, almost like cleaning a computer, disidentified. Thanks. Yes, in Zen Buddhism, there's a gradual enlightenment school. So basically, it's just cleaning the mental dust. We have the life experience that once in a while, in a week or in a month, if you don't clean your room, there's a dust, there's hairs, there's all kinds of, unnecessary, garbage in your room. In the same way, if you don't clean your mind, there's a mental dust, mental garbage. So you have to clean, to wipe it off. So that's a sudden enlightenment, gradual enlightenment school. But in the sudden enlightenment school, you are cleaning your illusion. So there's nothing to clean. There's nothing to wipe off. Because you are undo the illusion, which does not exist, is your projection, which has no self in the illusion. So in Zen or sudden enlightenment school of Zen, they don't encourage you to clean. You just be. And you see the nature of all the phenomena world directly. There's nothing to clean. I both agree with. You see, the technique is designed to different mental state being. Each individual have different state of being, so that's why there's a sudden enlightenment school, there's a gradual enlightenment school. But the Dharma or the Fa itself has no superior or inferior. It's equal because of the mental activity has higher or low. So we have this Dharma that is suitable for every different individuals who have different mental state of being. A memory is an object in our mind, and for the trauma, for the especially negative memory, unpleasant memory, unpleasant relationship, somebody hurt you, somebody physically, orally, mentally, emotionally hurt us, we're gonna memorize it for a very long time because that memory is very sticky, very sticky to your mind. and it's very hard to clean. I have a little time limitation today, so maybe that's all for today. Enjoy your emptiness, your wisdom, your light of consciousness that shines on every object. A beautiful realization. Without me or with me, your pure awareness is always there. So depend on yourself. I'm only a pointer, a guide. Bye now.